Most small charities raise money the hard way. They run an event, send a year-end appeal, hold their breath, and then start again from almost zero a few weeks later. It works, but it is exhausting, and it makes every month feel like a fresh emergency. There is a quieter, steadier way to fund your cause, and it is hiding in plain sight. It is the monthly recurring donor, the supporter who gives a modest amount automatically every month without being asked again. In this video, I want to show you why monthly giving is the most valuable and stable income a small charity can build, and how to launch a simple program. Make the ask without pressure, keep your tears clean, welcome and thank the people who join, and watch the few numbers that tell you whether it is working. One honest note before we begin, this channel is educational only. I am not affiliated with or endorsed by any platform, payment provider or grant program, and nothing here is an official partnership. Nothing in this video is legal, tax, or fundraising compliance advice, and it is not advice on handling personal data. Because the tools I mentioned change over time, and because how you collect and store donor information is governed by privacy law such as the PDPA, please treat everything here as background and always confirm the current details with the official source and with your own advisors before you rely on it. Why monthly giving matters? Start with why this matters, because once you see it, you will not think about fundraising the same way again. A one-time gift is a single moment. A monthly gift is a relationship that quietly renews itself. Picture two supporters who each give the same total in a year. The first hands you a single donation and then disappears from your calendar. The second sets up a small monthly gift and, without another email or another ask, keeps giving month after month. On paper, the first year looks similar, but the monthly donor is far more likely to still be with you for years to come. That is the real prize. Recurring giving turns a scatter of one-off moments into predictable income you can actually plan around. When you know roughly what is coming in each month, you can budget with more confidence and stop treating every quarter as an emergency. Monthly donors also tend to be your most loyal supporters, and that ongoing decision often grows over time into larger gifts, volunteering, and word of mouth. There is a simple economics to it too. It costs far more to find a brand new donor than to keep one you already have. So every supporter who moves to monthly giving lowers the pressure to constantly chase new ones. A handful of steady monthly donors is worth more to a small charity than a long list of names who gave once and moved on. Setting up a simple program. Now let us build the thing itself, and the good news is that it can be genuinely simple. You do not need custom software or a fundraising department. You need three plain pieces. First, a way to take a recurring payment, which most donation tools and payment providers now handle by letting a supporter choose monthly instead of one time on the same form. Choose a reputable one. Check its fees and make sure it can charge the same small amount each month automatically, so your donor never has to think about it again. Second, a short, honest sign-up page that a stranger can understand in a few seconds. Give your program a warm human name rather than a technical one, so people feel they are joining something, not enrolling in a billing plan. Say plainly what a monthly gift does. Keep the form short and promise clearly what happens next, so nobody wonders whether their card just vanished into the void. Third, careful handling of the personal information you collect. You are now holding names, email addresses, and payment details on an ongoing basis, so gather only what you truly need. Store it securely with your payment provider rather than in a loose spreadsheet. Tell donors plainly how you will use their details and follow the privacy rules that apply to you, such as the PDPA. Treating donor data with obvious respect is not only the law, it is part of the trust that keeps people giving. Making the ask with the machinery ready, the real work is the invitation, and this is where tone matters most. A good monthly ask is an invitation, not a squeeze. You are not trying to corner anyone. You are offering people who already care a simple, ongoing way to help. Lead with a real specific picture of what their giving does, rather than an abstract plea. Then make the ask small and concrete. Instead of asking for as much as possible, suggest a modest monthly amount and describe, in plain terms, what that steady support makes possible over a year. A small number that recurs is easier to say yes to than a large one-off. Ask the people most likely to say yes first. Your warmest supporters, the ones who already give occasionally or turn up to volunteer, are the natural first members, so invite them directly and personally before you put a banner on your website. When you do ask, make the next step effortless. A single clear link to that short sign-up page with no maze in between. And please avoid the pressure tactics that some fundraising leans on. The countdown clocks, the manufactured urgency, the language designed to shame a no. They might squeeze out a gift today, but they corrode the trust that recurring giving depends on. And a monthly donor who feels cornered simply cancels next month. Ask honestly, ask the right people, and make saying yes easy, keeping your tiers simple. A quick word on tiers, because this is where well-meaning charities often overcomplicate things. A tier is simply a suggested monthly amount, and offering a few of them helps people choose without inventing a number from scratch. But keep it to a short handful, perhaps 3, because too many options tend to freeze people rather than help them. Pick a low entry amount, a middle one, and a slightly more generous one, and let the middle feel like the natural choice since people gravitate to the middle of a set. Where you can, attach a simple, honest picture of what each level supports, so a number becomes a meaning rather than just a price. Keep those descriptions truthful and modest, and always leave room for someone to enter their own amount, because your most committed supporter may want to give more than your top tier, and a locked menu quietly turns them away. The goal of tiers is not to extract the maximum, but to make choosing easy, because a gift someone can sustain for years is worth far more than a stretch gift they cancel in 3 months. Welcoming and thanking your donors. Once someone joins, the temptation is to move straight on to the next ask. Resist it, because how you treat a new monthly donor in the first days shapes whether they stay for years. Start with a warm, prompt thank you the moment they sign up. Not a cold automated receipt, but a genuine human welcome that tells them what they have joined. In the first week or two, show them gently what their giving is already helping to do, so the decision feels good rather than forgotten. After that, keep them in the loop at a steady, humane pace. A monthly donor does not need an email every few days, and over-contacting them is one of the quickest ways to make them leave. A simple, honest update now and then, showing the difference their steady support is making, is far more powerful than a stream of fresh appeals. Few practical kindnesses matter more than people expect. Make it genuinely easy for a donor to update their card details, because expired cards, not lost faith, are one of the most common reasons monthly gifts quietly stop. And make it easy for someone to pause or reduce their gift if their own circumstances change, rather than forcing them to cancel outright. A donor you let step back gracefully often steps back up later. One who had to fight to leave rarely returns. Thanking well and staying in touch without smothering is not a nicety on top of the program. It is the program. The ask gets someone to join. The thank you is what keeps them. The few numbers that matter. Finally, let us talk about measuring this. And as with everything in this series, the aim is to watch a few honest numbers rather than drown in a dashboard. For a monthly program, 4 are enough. The first is simply how many active monthly donors you have, the count of people currently giving, which tells you the size of your steady base. The second is your average monthly gift, which together with the count tells you your predictable monthly income. The third, and the most important, is retention, the share of monthly donors still giving after a year. Retention is the number that quietly decides whether your program grows or leaks, because a program that signs up 10 donors and loses 8 is not really building anything. If you watch only one figure, watch this one. The fourth is your total recurring income each month, the calm base you can actually plan around. You do not need fancy tools. A monthly note of the count, the average, and how many people you kept or lost is enough to see the trend. And when a number tells you something, act gently on it. If retention is slipping, look at your thank yous, your card update process, and how often you are emailing before you go chasing new signups to replace the ones falling out the bottom. A steadily held base almost always beats a leaky one you keep refilling. Rifam, quick recap. Let us bring it together. Monthly recurring donors are the most stable, valuable income a small charity can build because they turn scattered one-off gifts into predictable support you can plan around. To start, put 3 simple pieces in place. A reliable way to take recurring payments, a short and honest sign-up page with a warm name, and careful, lawful handling of the donor data you collect. Make the ask as an invitation rather than a squeeze, leading with a real story, suggesting a modest amount, inviting your warmest supporters first, and never leaning on guilt or false urgency. Keep your tiers to a short handful with honest descriptions and room for a custom amount. Then treat the people who join as the treasure they are. Thank them promptly, show their impact at a steady pace, make it easy to update a card or pause a gift, and never smother them. And watch just a few numbers: your active donor count, your average gift, your total recurring income, and above all, your 1 year retention. Nothing here is a promise of a particular result, and no honest person can guarantee donations, so always confirm the current details of any tool or rule and any handling of personal data with the official source and your own advisors. But if you build even a small monthly program this way, patiently and honestly, you give your cause something most small charities never have: a calm, dependable base of support that renews itself month after month. If that is the kind of steady progress you want, subscribe for practical charity marketing you can actually use, and I will keep turning it into plain, doable steps, one video at a time.